Well, hello, everybody. How are we this week? Good to see you all. Good to see you. Good to see you. Greetings. Oh, guys. Well, I don't know if we'll have Tony this week. That fresh rebuilt computer already crashed. So we may just be down a goose this evening. And if that's the case, there's worse things. Oh, my goodness. Well, this week we're gonna do some camo on Leatherneck's pants. Not a lot left to do on this figure, so that will just about wrap that one up. Probably do some touch-ups and things like that, and then we'll clear coat, and that will pretty much be the end of it. I do have another figure which I've been working on this week, which is just kind of a personal project, not for anybody. Kind of random. So if we get to that, I will work on that. Sorry, I will work on that once we finish the camo on Leatherneck's legs. It does. It does. I'm sure he is very frustrated, as I would be too. Yep, some camo. Well, goose shit. We'll make the best of it. Yes, we will. Made the dive into Linux this week. So far, so good. Microsoft can suck it. Yeah. If you know how to use Linux, it's a pretty good operating system. What I've used of it, my last job, that was the operating system they used for our work. They had a guy that designed it. It worked great. It's very customizable. Pretty sweet. Oh, Gum Bunny got my second ramen tank today. That means it's almost time to paint one. Now that I like to hear that. What are you gonna do to it? What are you gonna do? Some camo, or are you just gonna kind of dirty it up and weather it up? Let me know. Looking at these legs, I guess. What up, Kaiju? What up, dude? One of these. All right. Turn that down a little bit so that's manageable. All right. So these are the legs that we painted. These are this is the camo that we want it to look like, which is a pretty basic, multi-point camo, I call it. So like how many fingers it has. It's kind of how I refer to it. So nothing too crazy there. Thing I want to be sure we do is match up this brown. It's a dark brown, maybe have a little gray in it. We'll see what we can do there. Painting a bridge layer version. Okay, so you just gotta go like the dark green. My favorite camo pattern is the Vietnam Special Forces tiger stripe camo, the Mike Force camo. That's my favorite. It's my least favorite to paint, but it is my favorite camo. Also up there is I don't think they still use it, but the Navy had kind of a Tiger Force or a tiger stripe blue that they were using, 2009, 2010. I like that a lot too. Tristan, I pre-ordered an Arctic Hiss because I passed on the Snowcat. I'd say it's a pretty good trade-off, I think. Something new. Oh, well, I can't wait to see what that is. Oh, Jay Cabral, how are you, sir? Cabral. What is up, my brother? What is up, buddy? Honkamaniacs in the chat, ready to run wild. Ready to run wild, dude. Just one camo color, single color camo. Got my kangaroos all strapped up and ready to hard and fast all night. JMK Goose Brigade. We're not going all night. We'll get a couple hours out of it. M81 is my fave. Yep. Nothing wrong with some good old U.S. woodland, my guy. Nothing wrong at all. I mean, that's what military looked like when I was a kid. So that'll always be good to me. Hard and fast. Oh, JB gifted a JMK membership. Thank you, dude. Thanks, my guy. Yeah, that's awesome. So this isn't true, but we're gonna play it anyway.
How about you get your own bottle?
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Well, fuck you then, punk.
It's not true. You did get something. I don't know who received that, but congratulations. JB, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Mikey, do you like the new GI Joe Classified figures that are coming out this year? I mean, the few that they've told us about, yeah. There's some really good ones in there. I love that hit and run. I like the Night Viper. I'm excited about. There's some pretty good stuff, Mike. Pretty good stuff. Yo, Joe Jerk, what is up, sir? How the hell are you? Hey, Pop. Good to see you, buddy. During my time in Australian Army Reserve, we only had Ozcam, Bushcam. What's that look like? What that look like? Let's see. Oh, is that like no way, that's like the 1960s camouflage, like the round dots? Is that what it really looks like? That'd be cool. I like the Australian. I don't know who uses it because I think it was technically UK camo, but it was almost a Tiger Force. It was like brown and tan. I like that. I like Tiger Force camos. That's my favorite. I like that one. I think SAS used it, but I thought there was some Australian. Maybe it was Special Forces for you guys. Yeah, the green and brown blobs. That's cool because that looks like 1970s camo. Like that's cool. I had no idea. Yeah, I'll be damned. Cooter's Garage took a close look at the Arctic Saw Viper, and the face looks like the comic version. Oh, really? Does he have a tiny mustache? Tiny mustache. Does he come with a cigarette? Because that would be truly. Interesting. I haven't looked at that, I guess. Don't remember it. With my Russian Army camo. I like that one. I like the sharp edges. That's pretty cool. All right. Let's see what kind of brown we got here. I pulled 3 off the shelf. I had one down here, but I put them all away. Got too cluttered. So this one, it's not too bad. I think it's a little too warm, we'll call it. But I'll put a dab on here. We'll see. Honestly, maybe not. That looks pretty good. I know you guys can't make that out, but try a couple here. Let's see here. Willie, I did. I got your heads today, my man. Got them right here. Appreciate you sending me the printouts of who it is, so I don't even have to question it. I can just match them right up. So that's cool, man. I'll get on those as soon as I can. German Flecktarn is great camo. Is that the... Which one is that? Oh, jeez. Because the Germans have had several camos that I like. Okay, that's the one that's almost like tiny dots. That is a cool camo. I like that one. Kind of reminds me of the World War II like fall camo that they had. I think that's pretty cool looking stuff. What's up, buddy? Glad you're here. Yeah, got those today. Pulled those out. Very nice. I was still trained on Vietnam era weapons and tactics of the 2079 and 72 log and 26 grenades, M18 A1 claymores. Hey, you know, they worked just fine. They worked just fine. I don't know if you guys had them at the time. Maybe you still used 303, like Lee Enfield rifles, because that's an awesome rifle, and it's from World War II. I love mine. After you paint a figure, do you spray with a matte clear finish? I do. I use Army Painter clear coats. And this is the gloss, but I typically use satin as the finish. Satin. Satin gives you a pretty close to factory finish. So it's not flat, but it's not high gloss either. Enilly86 can't stay, but I'd like to say hi, Mikey. Hello. Thank you for dropping in. I sure appreciate it. Have a great night. One of those Patrick Mahomes says yours. Thanks for your work. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Very, very curious what I'm going to do with it. Pop said he had a plan for it, so we'll see what he comes up with. What legs are those? So these legs are leatherneck, but I got him bigger legs. These are what will replace these legs, and these are from the Grim Viper, and they're the same as the new Sergeant Slaughter legs, the 2-pack with Mercer, same ones. What a Triple D. Good evening, sir. It is, Creon. It's a fantastic. I was trying to not long after I inherited that rifle, my uncle was asking me how well it shot. And I said, pretty well. I had already taken out some possums and some borderline feral cats, wild cats. And was very successful with the Enfield. And he's like, how, he's like, is it any good? And I was like, yeah, I am. So I was like, all right, I'll show you. And so at the top of this tree, and the tree was, we were kind of looking down on it. So behind the tree was the hill, and it was an empty cow pasture at the time. So there was a bird at the top of the tree, like top of the tree. And it was, it wasn't 100 yards, but it might have been 75, 80. And I loaded one up and took a shot, and I just watched it just turn into just a feather, just puff, like cartoon style. And he was like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "Yeah, it's dead nuts. I mean, it's a hell of a rifle. I wish 303 was cheaper because it is one of the funnest rifles to just plink with. It's so fun. It's a lot of round, but it's fun." So my father has my grandfather's M3 and M4 service in fields from World War II. That is incredibly cool. That is one of my favorite rifles. Very cool. Largo, when you muddy up boots and gear, do you use a wash or dry brush? Yes. Yes. Typically what I'll do is I'll paint the surface. I will do a wash to get the low spots, a dry brush to reestablish the high spots, and then if I really want to make it muddy, I'll do paint, like I'll flick paint at it, like mud splat. I've done that a few times. It works really well. I learned it from watching guys paint tanks, 132nd tanks and stuff. What up, Yo Joe Daddy? Boo! Good to see you, sir. Good to see you today. All right. Let me see. Oh, no, that one's way too red. All right, let's have a look. Holy smokes. That's really good. I can barely tell. Okay, well, Dryad Bark is the uncontested winner. That's fantastic. I love it when a plan comes together. All right. So I won't use this brush because it's too thin. But I want to use a thicker brush that'll hold more paint. It'll probably be a round tipped brush. Let's see what we want to use. It's this guy. That looks pretty right on. And oh no, maybe that one. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. I think we'll use this one. This is a Kolinsky Masterclass. Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. I was trained on the F88 Steyr and the F89 Mini. Nice. Okay, right on. So his heads are going to go on the Valaverse Buck, the camel one, camo one, black and gray. Okay. Okay, mate. The oldie is a PSL 76254R. Ain't nothing wrong with that round at all. I appreciate you, Willie. Thank you, man. Tony's computer is not cooperating tonight, so probably won't see him, but who knows? Who knows? Faith, could be on our side. Luck be a lady tonight. You know what I mean? I was showing you military camo uniforms are designated disruptive pattern camouflage uniform. Interesting. Always like looking looking at camo patterns, especially when I want to do something different for a figure, like something that's not based on anything. When I just want to do something fresh, I like looking at other militaries' camos, because I kind of think like if you were running a GI Joe team, you wouldn't want it to look like any one country or nation's force. You know, you'd want it to. You'd want whoever you were going after, whoever your target was, to question who done it. You know, you wouldn't. I wouldn't think you would want somebody to be like, "Oh yeah, it was U.S. forces. They had flags and military camo, and I would think you'd want to be a little more secretive. So I think using other camos makes a lot of sense to me. But the fuck do I know? So just plopped out some of that brown, and now I'm just thinning it down so I can paint instead of spackle. Especially with this paint, because it's a base. Citadel does their multi-layer paints, so this is a base, so it's very thick, very thick indeed. All right, and I usually just mix it with a shitty brush. That way, I don't even have to worry about binding bristles or fraying the brush or anything. Just I don't care. What up, Kev? How's it going, my man? It's just me for now. Tony may join later if his computer cooperates, but it's a solo goose pattern this evening. All right. So you can kind of tell the camo here, like it's pretty basic, like I was saying, like multiple like fingers. So I'd be like 3 strands that come into one, or 2 that kind of twist and come out as 2 or 3. So you don't really have to worry about copying it exactly, but we do want to try to get it at least relatively close. The whole point of this is that this looks like a factory figure. If you were looking at it on the shelf, you'd be like, "Oh wow, I don't remember this." And you'd be like, "Well, you don't, because somebody made it. Me, baby." All right. So just kind of. Oh yeah. Ooh, that's the ticket. Ooh, daddy like. Okay. There it is. There's the first, you know. VSR 98. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. I like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Not bad. A little rusky. Okay, I can dig it. Speaking of camo, the Navy Dazzle camo on ships looks awesome. Titanic's older sister, the Olympic, took awesome in World War II. And up, she transported troops to Gallipoli and cut a German U-boat in half. That's pretty intense. I can't remember. God, I want to say it was one of the sisters to the Titanic as well that actually brought my family to the United States right before World War One. Little Kukovich trivia for you. Yeah, it's not exact, but it totally pulls it off. I think they did a really good job avoiding licenses and stuff. It's not his internet; it's the actual computer. He just had it built up, and it did not take it. Alone in my department at work, so kind of know the alone feeling. I love being alone at work. It's the best. Oh, so nice. Go on. Best Sean Connery head. Mazda 4 suited body 007. Nice. Is it a young one? A young Sean Connery? I just got my oh yeah, Monster Force. Yeah. I just got my my heads that I ordered back in November from Spartan 118. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He's in Mexico. He actually does casts, like old school casts. I've ordered from him a few times. A good quality stuff. Anyways, I got some heads from him. A couple of people had told me that they wanted some heads, and I really couldn't find them. And come to find out, he had a couple of them, and one of them was an older Sean Connery, like The Rock, and I got a couple of those. And I was pretty excited about it because it's a nice head, and I'm not sure, but I think Spartan 118. I think he actually sculpts, old school sculpts. You can tell on the older stuff when he was just doing 118. The heads had really unusual features, like what happens when you try to sculpt somebody's head at a 118 scale. I mean, you're talking about a head that's half an inch tall. You know what I mean? It's really tricky. But now that he's doing both scales, I think it looks a lot better. Like he's really improved. So he's also been doing it for a long time. You know, he practiced a craft for 10 years. You know, probably going to be pretty good at it. Probably. Maybe not. All right. This one is actually coming along really nice. This brush sucks, if you were curious. It's kind of pissing me off. Just the ends keep coming apart. Honestly, probably my fault. I do not care for my brushes the way you should. And that's what happens. Yeah. There we got the front of those. That's tremendous. Oh, Father Son Galaxy, what's up, my guy? How are you, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing? The Britannic was the third ship. Hospital ship during World War One. She hit a mine off the Greece of the Mediterranean. Wild. And a guy I used to work with was just a Titanic fanatic. Just loved it. He had even written a book about it. My goodness. Mm-hmm. All right, so it is a young one. Very cool. I've got one of those that I bought off, I don't know, one of the 3D file sites, and it's pretty good. Kind of a weird scale. Ordered a head sculpt of the Softmaster. Oh, you did order one. Okay. Okay. You gonna get the Wong body? Put it on a Wong body? I think that's the best way, dude. I really do. Changing brushes. Tired of that one. It's irritating me. Really nice thing about camo is you can almost always get it on the first pass. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to keep putting layers on it. Like usually, because it's camo, you don't have to mess with it too much. And it doesn't matter if you mess up because it's camo. Who the hell's gonna know? Now I say that, and I am my harshest critic, as it tends to be. It didn't bother me so much when the stuff was just going on my shelf. I really didn't care. But once you start selling it, charging money for it, well, then it starts to matter a little bit. You know what I mean? Again, if you're just joining us, my co-host is having some computer issues. Nobody likes to deal with that, but thankfully, we're just on my channel tonight. It's not a huge deal. It's not like he was, gearing up for an LSWA, or that would be a big problem. This just means I talk to myself for a little while. That's not so bad. I was going to do that anyway. I don't know if any of you are only children, but I tell you what, only children tend to talk to themselves a lot. It's not all bad. We work out most of our issues, but when there's a disagreement, it's really bad. Will Smith, Anna, Martin Lawrence. Oh, Will Smith and a Martin Lawrence from Bad Boys. Okay, right on. That's cool. I've not painted either of those guys. That's pretty good. Mikey with this camo work for female military figures, fabric in Russia. PSR 3. Night camo pattern. I don't know why not. Looks like a pretty good camo pattern to me. Looks good to me, yeah, why not? Why not? An old artist gave me a bunch of old brushes, and every single one is shedding in the paint. Thanks. Yeah, that seems to be how it goes sometimes. What up, James Lucas? How are you, my man? Scrap iron drone for the poor old soft master. You put the head on a drone? That'd be wild. That's some mind bender shit there. Those heads off of shop. It looks like they came from Craniac. What the invoice looks like. They do good stuff. These are nice. Good quality heads. I'll see if I can check fitment on a Action Force body. Make sure they work. And those who work for, yes, that is true. James Lucas, I'm working on a leatherneck. My buddy Johnnie at the comic shop here, Brute Squad Entertainment, Kansas City, Missouri. He didn't like the size, so he wanted him bigger. So we worked out a build, and it uses the Grim Viper legs. So this is the new leatherneck leg. So I've done the fronts. I'm going to go back and do the back of the legs, as well as the die-upper portion, and then it's going on so this is the body they use for a leatherneck. This is the Tomax Zaymont torso. It's one of the smallest torsos they have. So we're going to put it on a rock and roll torso, which is significantly larger, and use rock and roll arms instead. So that's the new build, and everything fits on it just fine. So pretty good kit bash. Even if you don't want to paint it, get that retro rock and roll. If they're popping up at Ross still for like $8 or whatever. If you snag one of those, that's a really good torso for leatherneck. And then if you get one of those Grim Vipers, and I'm thinking those will hit clearance, because from what I'm hearing and seeing, stores are just getting cases of Grim Viper. Like they're not getting Sci-Fi or any of the other figures. They're just getting Grim Viper. And he's not that impressive of a figure, but he has good legs. So there you go. That's probably how I started taking photos of my toys. I would do a custom or some cosplay project, and I would be, it's awesome, until I looked at a pic and showed me my flaws. Yeah, but you just learn from them, you know? Like it's not that big of a deal, right? Well, that not saying we do it exclusively. You can definitely have yours. That's why people like doing business with you, because you care. I do care. Thank you, Willie. I appreciate that, man. I do care. J Solo Arts. I'll talk to you, Mikey. One only child to another. What camo pattern are you painting? First off, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you being here. So I'm painting no legitimate camo pattern, but I'm trying to copy what they did for Leatherneck, which is super basic, multi-finger camo, I call it. So we're just converting that to these new legs. And yeah, that's what we're doing. So yeah, no legitimate camo pattern. This one just super basic green trousers, brown pattern. Nothing too crazy. Done for as it marked him. Oh my. Ooh. Well, that's good. Well, look at this guy. My homie. My bro. My bro. It's a cane. Hey, it's supposed to have weather Saturday. I don't know if that's going to affect your trip in Monolith, but I want to look at it. Let me know, man. 60th diver bat on an diver head on an IG bat body. Very new RoboCop feel. Interesting. That's the new RoboCop. That was how I thought the movie Snake Eyes body looked. Interesting. Interesting. Awesome, Mikey. I figured either Gung Ho or Leatherneck. Yep. One of them jar heads. Just picked up Retro Stalker today at Ross. All right, Gonzo. Gonzo's always finding good stuff. I haven't seen none of the Retro Joes have I seen at any of my Ross, and I don't have a Burlington anywhere close to me to go check out and see if they have that Twilight Guard 2-pack, because I would sure as shit snag up a couple. I did see at my Target had GI Joes on the pegs. That was a welcome sight. They had Grim Viper, a sci-fi, and then that last retro wave with Stalker, Cobra Trooper, and Cobra Commander. They had those, and a bunch of Desert Scorpions. So pretty interesting. I had someone traded a Big Trouble in Little China Lightning BST action figure today. I had no idea this line existed, but definitely made me want more. Interesting. Those AX in that line, they've done some cool stuff. I got a Gene Simmons up there on the shelf. I found a Sid Justice figure that I think can make a great Dreadnought. Looking for a better head. Right on. GameStop here in Pensacola has a lot of Cobra Commander and Saw Viper with some Alpines. I found some mainframes. Nice. He is a good figure, especially if you're not bothered by the figure height. If that doesn't bother you, it's a great figure. It looks really good. Yes, we are indeed having weather. It doesn't look like we'll get a lot, but on your side of the state line, it can mean a lot. Yeah, just monitor it. We'll see. If you can't be here, it's not a big deal, brother. Some sweet head sculpts. He helped me complete an A-team, and I'm almost done. Simon Phoenix sewing overalls. Bitch. Oh, you're sewing overalls? Intense, man. Right on. Right on. Winter be wintering. That's right. Ross here looks like Sugarfoot ran through it looking for weens. That's how Ross looks like for 2 months after Christmas. It looks like a Soviet grocery store. Insane. That's what I'm seeing, man. People have been posting them up. Yeah, the Twilight Guards for like $13 or $14. Insane. I know Dad wants a couple. I would definitely like one if I find one, but I don't have any around me. The closest one is like half an hour away, which I know, not a big deal. But when you're talking about driving into the city, ugh, gross. Gross. Yeah, I saw that Cliff found the Short Fuse and Steeler 2-pack, which is cool. I was afraid the Mortar Man wasn't going to be able to snag a Mortar Man. What kind of shit is that? You know what I mean? Just got an OG. Ooh, cool. Nice. That's rad. Cobra Commander, Stalker, and Cobra Trooper are all 4 waves back. They are. It's like they just found them. Like, very strange. Had some heathery sleet weather. I saw that. Yeah, I saw Florida got smacked in the mouth. There was a Mindbender Viper rock and roll wave. And that's right. Yeah, so that was a few waves back. So yeah, I don't know if they just found it in the back. It looked like they had redone the whole aisle though. They rearranged it and everything. So maybe somebody dumped them under a shelf, Rocco style. I don't know. Always look, dude. Up here, they don't, man. They usually stock them really well, and I usually don't find what I'm looking for. But yeah, just saw someone in Dallas find the Twilight cards. Yeah, that's as far east as or far west as I've seen it. All the ones I saw were like New Jersey, Pennsylvania. So that'd be cool. They shouldn't build raw so close to dry creek beds. That's a good point. You make me want to go. Gonzo, you want to go hunt anyway. Don't put that on me, brother. You want to do that anyway. Go hunt. You're usually pretty successful, man. I like hearing your hunting stories. I go hunt. It feels like a fucking snipe hunt. It's weird how that distribution works. They're just. You honestly, you'd never know. Ad lib just a little bit here. I'm not trying to copy it 100%, but since he does want this to look like a factory figure, I'd like to give him as close as possible to a factory camo. And this is the first custom I've done for my guy, and I'd like to do a great job, so trust me with some more work. Okay. Nice. Noish. All right. Okay. Well, stop being lazy, because James Lucas is ready to buy that shit. And so will Charles. What kind of custom could you do with the boys black noir figure? I looked at that figure a couple of times. I couldn't find anything that I wanted to do. I know that the scale on it's really weird. I looked at one. I saw him at Ross a couple of times around Christmas, and I thought I was like, ooh, and then I was like, what am I gonna do with that? The NECA stuff. I'll just buy monsters as they take them. I only have one, right? I got two. I got a gargoyle, and I got the Romulus alien. And neither one of those, the scale matter, you know. Excuse me. Okay. Right, so that's that one. Okay. It's weird up here at the top. They all have a odd triangle shape. Like the shape of the spacecraft and the Wi-Fi episodes I've been listening to. You guys ever listen to the Wi-Files? Pretty entertaining stuff. Wish. Oh, sorry, I just realized how quiet it is. Okay. Ugh! Okay. All right. Yeah, gotta get some. Ninja Frankenstein Super Commando. What? Yeah, you could do that. Hype. Hype. Incredibly elaborate beanstalk. 2 beanstalks. What up, Jeff? If you're doing a completely different color for an existing figure, do you use a base coat or a primer first? A friend told me he uses auto primer. I do not use any primers because typically a tolerance is going to be an issue. So I don't want to add another layer of paint that would risk scraping off, it's potentially problematic. So I don't. I just prep the surface, spray the color. It's done well for me. So far. God willing, it will stay that way. Now, I'm done with that brown. I don't know if I'm going to use any more of it, but I'm going to go ahead and cover it so it doesn't dry. Okay. Now I don't have to worry. Trying to think. Oh, I need to do the diaper. Ish. Oh, black noir could be the super. Yes. Okay. Frankenstein. Okay. I could see that. Sure. All right. On this one, I don't have a pattern, so we're winging it. And he's got some poo on his trousers. Okay. That's all we're doing. Just a little bit. Hasbro doesn't go overboard, so wouldn't want to make it. I want it to be as least obvious as I possibly can. You know what I mean? So, is there anything on his arms? Did he have anything? He did have, he had pockets, but these sleeves obviously don't have the pockets. So I don't think we'll put anything on there. So I think that's as far as we're going with that. We'll let it dry, and then we can clear coat. And we'll go from there. Great. I will be right back, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Yeah, that's what I should. I should make some commercials. Place some commercials for a brief pause. Okay. So while those are drying, let me show you what else I've been working on. This is a sci-fi, but he's in gold and bronze and silver. This rifle. I wanted to do something unusual with one of the sci-fis I got, and I couldn't figure out what that was going to be. And here it is. So it's all gloss, but what I'm going to do is the uniform has two textures. So it's got like this ribbed, almost like Darth Vader's, and then there's kind of a ripstop texture, I guess. And so I think this interior, I think I'll leave it gloss, and then I'll paint the rest of this matte. You know what I mean? And then it'll have kind of a contrast of that didn't come out super great. Oh well. It's for me. Yeah, so everything will be gloss except for this ripstop material. I'm going to paint it matte, so there's a bit of contrast in that. Oh, there you go. When you leave, you could get the animation for Old Drive in Dancing Hot. Oh, yeah, like the concessions, the dancing concessions. That's a good idea, Pop. That's a good idea. Thanks. Hi, Mom. Just me. Tony's computer took a crap, so it's just me. Love you. Thanks, man. Have you had your ween jerked? Squatch. You're not alone. Yeah, there. That'd be a good commercial. Like maybe a hotline or a Miss Cleo. You could do a Miss Cleo thing. That could be. Whoa, dude! Thank you so much, dude. That's awesome, man. Thank you. What are we gonna do for you, my guy? You know what? That's so badass. It's like a Facebook gangster.
Ooh, a real gangster. You better play by his rules. Ooh, a real gangster. I'll go back to MySpace rules, to Facebook.
Thank you, my guy. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Cheers. We hope. Jimmy Purvis. Did you just get one? Right on, man. Right on, brother. Right on. All right. So, we're going to get some satin varnish. Oh. That one's empty. Oh. Here's my one that's not quite empty. I got a bunch of goddamn bubbles. Goddamn bubbles. Oh, wow. Those are resilient. All right. That did not work at all. So, put that in there. A little bit of satin. And then we use the craptastic brush and stir away our bubbles. See y'all punk asses later. All right. I'm going to use this brush. It's a nice angle brush. We're just gonna paint in some happy satin texture. I'm not even gonna worry about these silver bits. I'll put a pop of I'll put a pop of gloss on those later. Just really don't have to worry right. There's that. And I think on the torso, I think it's all the ripstop texture. So the whole torso, I think, will be satin, non-gloss. And so I will probably just spray it when I clear coat Leatherneck. And that way I can get a nice even finish on it. Yeah, can you see the difference in texture? See the ripstop and the kind of long pleats? That's what we're doing. Also, the straps. I know I just fucked that up. The straps are going to stay gloss. Stay glossy, my friends. Okay. There's that one. It really took me some time to choose what I wanted to do with my extra sci-fi. I was thinking about different color schemes, and then I thought, what about almost like an experimental suit? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like what if this was like the first version, like before he chose colors and they were just like experimental metal. Look at space. More techie. That was kind of the thought process. Okay. Just that. The collars all. Check out the arms. Sure, you could do that. It does look very steampunk with the different metals. That's why it looks kind of familiar, I bet. Jetman, Mikey and Chad, I can't stay. I moved some furniture around and now my body can hardly move. Sorry to hear that, buddy. I appreciate you being here. Yes, Jay, I do joint prep. I removed material off the knees and elbows. I just used the Dremel bit like that. Go careful. Oh, and I did the shoulders too, but that I used the different bit. I used the stone bit because it fits pretty good inside of there. With the older classifieds, you can take the joints apart and do them that way. But these new ones, no dice. No dice. See how I did the gauntlets. Gauntlets, I think, are my favorite part, actually. It was really, really nice texture that they put on there. Different layers, and like I said on our stream, I think Sci-Fi is without a doubt one of the best classifieds they did this year. He's just really good. Really good. So like I said, the diaphragm, the belly, the crotch piece, and the torso and the neck, I will spray those with the satin clear coat when I do leathernecks, which, in all honesty, is like now. So I'm going to go ahead and pull him over. All of these parts I will put in a drawer until we're ready to do final assembly. Okay. All right. Okay. Got that. This and neck. That's the rest of Sci-Fi. Can go back. So this, get that ready. Series of various colors for Real American High Sci-Fi figure. That sounds cool. Just watched my tutorial on joint prep today. Nice, thanks, man. It's pretty good. I know a lot of people don't want to do it, so carefully, actually. Like Jetman said, I've got a video on it, but essentially, you just get your joint, and they raise a little bit off the leg, and so I'll just take this and I'll just run over it a few times, and then there at the edge, I'll take it, kind of at it, like hit it perpendicular, and just try to get it as close to a 90-degree angle there, so there's no chance of when you bend it, it's scraping. And then I'll turn it, and see there, you can see it again. So I'll just take that right down. And that's how you do it. It goes slow, be careful. And this bit will tear some shit up. So if you don't want to use that, you can use these stone bits. Trouble with these is these will get really hot, and it'll kind of start melting the plastic. Not like liquefy it or anything, but it'll start melting it, and you'll start to deal with, the plastic will start to create burrs, and you'll have to stop and take those off. And then when you're done, you'll need to rough that joint back up so it'll take paint, because as it gets hot, it smooths out the area because it's just melting it back to a smooth surface. So if you do that route, be sure you hit it with a file, which I typically do anyway. I don't use anything real fancy on a file either. Just a square shank file is really all I use, and get it down to a nice level again. That's how I do it. Watching Mikey over the last month has really helped me in my own custom figures. You're awesome. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I love hearing that, man. That's really what makes me want to keep doing it, is the inspiring of others. I love that shit, man. I put my Hannibal head on one of my firefighters because it kind of looks like his tan coat he always wore. Does mixing white and brown paint make a compatible tannish color? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can get tan with a brown and a white. That you can, but typically I know brown is brown, but brown is not just brown. Like there's some with more yellow, there's some with more red, there's some with more blue that kind of give it kind of a gray look to it. But you can definitely get gray or tan with white and brown. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I actually want to say the ones I painted, like this one, this is an out of the bottle tan, and it matches that firefighter neck almost like right on the money. Super close. It's Two Thin Coats Skeleton Legion, really nice tan. So if you want those firefighter, you want some hoods, or you want to paint something for those, that's what I use, and it works really, really well. Tristan always wanted a sci-fi when he was a kid, so he was very pleased to add the classified version to his collection. That's solid. It's a great figure. Oh yeah. You do stencils. I don't use any stencils. I mean, I did on the vehicles, when I did the battle flag and that kind of stuff, but yeah, you could definitely do that. Crashes in the house. What's up, man? Yeah, I've done a couple. All right, let's see here. Yep, that's definitely dry. So the old mobile paint booth. Cardboard and foam. Super fancy, super expensive. So go ahead and bend the knees so we can get inside the joints as well. All of the surfaces to be sealed. Okay. I actually cleaned my airbrush last night after I used it. Not something I typically do, but I did last night. We're in there. All right, so like I said, Army Painter, satin varnish. I can't tell you the ratio because I go by sight. But until it's about the right consistency, and then I'll spray and make sure the pattern looks right. And as universal as you think that might be, it's different for every airbrush, even if it's the same make and model. Small tolerances lead to large variances. Like I said, normally I would do a little more, a little more paint work on that leatherneck figure. But Johnnie was very explicit that he did not want it weathered. He wanted it to look like a factory figure. And we all know Hasbro doesn't do any of that shit. So that's why I'm not painting the belt or adding a little highlight to the rolled up sleeve or any of that. It's factory. It's the appearance that he wanted. Okay. There's that. Yeah, and for anybody that was curious about what that sci-fi torso looked like, this is it. It's just a pretty plain textured torso with the diaphragm. Like, I'm not going to be surprised if this is Heat Viper. You know what I mean? Like, it's that fudgeable. Like, it's very, very useful. They could do a lot of stuff with this, which is why I'm so excited they did an overlay, because this is a good piece for them to have in their arsenal. You know what I'm saying? So, I wait for that to dry. Just gonna remove the varnish from the tip of the airbrush there, so there's no clog waiting for me when I come back. Hey, done them all. Proud of it. proud of that. Now, when you buy 3D printed heads from other people websites, what are you looking for so that a custom figure will fit properly on a DC Todd McFarlane figure? Most of the time now, because my dad prints, I try to buy 3D files. So once I buy it, we both have access to it. All he has to do is print it, and then every once in a while I'll buy him resin or something. Or we trade labor. We do all kinds of stuff like that. So the first thing you want to get is scale. So McFarlane stuff is typically 1/10 scale. Same with NECA. There's usually 1/10 scale. His heads are fairly easy. Because it's usually shallow. The inside of the head is shallow, and then you just need the one spot to plug it in. So typically what I prefer is to do it myself. I'm going to show one of Willie's heads to kind of illustrate my point. So, well, it's Morgan Freeman. So that's pretty much what you're looking for. Same with anybody else, but his necks are usually very thick. So you get something like that, but so many people do their necks different ways. Like some people do this, just a big hollow cylinder, which I honestly prefer, and that is Patrick Mahomes. Won't be damned. Yeah, so it really just it varies. People do them different ways, so you just kind of have to be adaptable. But removing material, and then if you want to add like some sticky tack or a little hot glue, something like that to snug them up, that works all right. Not on figures. On vehicles, I'll rattle can. But typically, I do everything at my desk, and a rattle can would really, really linger. Like I don't have good enough ventilation to vent that out. Like that needs proper exhaust. But if I use these, I can apply indoors. It says right there. It's not harmful. Non-toxic, water-based. Works well inside. Whereas aerosol would cloud up this is my living room. So, it would cloud up my living room. It would always smell like paint in here. So I typically stay away. If I'm using rattle can, I'll go down to the garage and do it that way. All right. Now things dry. So we'll rotate to get the other joints. And that's why I do it this way, so I can move the butterflies while not messing with anything. If you ever wondered why I have these sticking out, looking all ridiculous, that's why. That is why. All right, take these, roll them up. Okay. Test shot. Right. Check these other pieces, make sure I didn't miss anything. While I've still got clear loaded up in the spray gun. Everything looks good. These I might have to clean up a little bit on the edges. I might have gotten some bleed through there. But all I'll do there is use a X-Acto knife, and I think these look good. All right. Okay. I like to tat you. I like to explain stuff well, so I understand. Well, I mean, that's what that's what I'm trying to do. I want to inspire people to do it themselves. Nothing here is hard. It just requires dedication and sometimes some patience. So, if you've got that and you're willing to listen, then I have no problem giving you the advice. Maybe I can save you a little frustration. Lord knows I appreciated that. Really sharp pain in my nose. Back. Okay. Pull out the other pieces here. Just that. Okay. So one trick we want to do is putting a vest on a torso that we do not want to remove the paint. So less force. You understand? So we take it just like this. Okay. Then we're going to take a bag, small bag. Okay. Cut the edges off of this bag so it's just a tube. Right. Put the torso in the bag. I'm going to leave some at the top. Okay. That's your first step. Okay. Second step, heat this up. You dip it in water. That's fine. Hot water trick. That's fine. But I don't want to deal with the water, so I'm going to use my heat gun, and I'm just going to roll it in the heat, like that Adele song, "Rolling in the Heat." You know what I mean? Maybe that was deep. I don't know. You could have had it all. Rolling in the heat. You know what I mean? Pretty sure that was the song. So this doesn't need to be blistering hot or anything, but you want it to be soft. You want it to be stretchy. That's what he said. Ha 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 ha. All right. So she's pretty good. All right, so I'm going to put this over the top. Okay. Work it down over the shoulders. Actually, bring it up a little bit more. Okay. All right. Feed that through. Boom. Okay. Now it's over. Got no paint shed. And you just pull that right the fuck out. And wouldn't you know it, the vest is now on this torso. Boom, baby. How about that? All right. Now we finish assembly. Let's see. Next trick. Assemble arms. Okay. And well, these we probably need to clean up. Actually, yeah, we need to clean that up before these. Oh, that actually sealed pretty nice. I'm just going to clean them up a little bit. I want them to look Hasbro, but not that Hasbro. Here we just. Keep the blade flat. You just want to shave off paint. You don't want to scrape the plastic off too much. A little bit's gonna happen, not a big deal. That's about what we want. I'm just gonna take one of these little exfoliating Q-tips and just go around that edge. I'm willing to bet if I would have had my vinyl tape that I usually do this with, I probably wouldn't have had any bleed through, but I have completely misplaced them. And Amazon's taken their sweet ass time sending me the delivery with the stuff I ordered. So, all right. Let's check up here. Had my head blown today. Didn't realize my YouTube switched over to Adele Does Action Figures. As Bane says, what a lovely voice. Thanks, Stu. It happens, you know. That part really is easy. It really isn't that difficult. It's just getting this warm and putting this, you know, about halfway so that as you force it on, you know, the condom rolls down to the base, and you can actually like get a hold of this. Sometimes you can pull it out from the top, but if not, as you force it off, you can just pull it from the bottom. It really is. It is easy. That is easy. It's just. No, you didn't. You son of a gun. That's so badass. Man. You really make me want to go out there and look, because I would very much like to find one. Well, that's pretty good then. I mean, that's all the way California, man. That means they really are everywhere. Interesting. I told you, you got good luck, man. Gonzo's got the gift. He's got the whatever the Finding Toys version of the Kavorka is. That's what Gonzo's got. Okay. So we'll assemble these. Use the right, it's right, left, and all I'll do is a little white lithium grease. Okay. Oh, that's too much. Okay. Toy Mojo, that's what it is. He's got the Toy Mojo. He's got the moves. Frank Reynolds there. Okay. All right. There's that white lithium grease. And I just heat this up. And then I don't have to worry about paint rub on the elbows or the shoulders and biceps with this. Okay? So watch this. Two. That's it. Okay, next one. All right, now I just run this and don't spend too much time. You know, flip them. Get them babies warmed up. The butterflies, it's the worst. It's the most uncooperative joint. Second only maybe to, I tell you what I do. I put both sides in. You know what I'm saying? Second only to the legs that have the inset ankle. This, like scrap iron, airborne. Those are really tricky. You have to get because you have to heat like here because this is just a collar. It's a challenge, but you know, while we're here, might as well just put just a scotch in there. It's a technical term. Look it up. All right, so we got. Boom, baby. All right. For the belt goes on, and then you put the diaper. You know how this goes. Right. There we go. I wouldn't worry about that, but this drop down is not very low. So you really need kind of all the space you can get. You know what I'm saying? That one on. All right. Heat up this leg. Yeah, heat the vest and slide the vest over a cold torso with that sleeve over it, and that works so well. And then to pop the arms and stuff on, well, then you'll have to heat up the butterfly joints in the torso. But sorry, so the grease is just for assembly, or does it add to the longevity of the custom? It's for assembly, but it does help wear surfaces. You're not rubbing together, so it's multi-use. There he is. Okay. And then I'll heat up this neck, pop it in. And though it is a smaller neck, it actually adds to this looking like a vest over a shirt. So it actually doesn't look bad at all. And then I'll add the rest of his gear, and we can get kind of a, finally assembled. But he is substantially larger. I don't have a regular one, but that's that. Tony, what's up, buddy? How are you, sir? Good evening. I have not had that happen very often. 3D printed belts, I've had those break a couple times, but these, I think I'm careful enough with them. I haven't had that, thankfully. Knock on wood. Okay. All right. So we've got an improved rifle, its knife, its cover, and let's see what else we need. Leatherneck, he's going to have his bracelet. And do we have on the other side a watch? Let's do that. And I think that's all he's got. He had the glasses, right? Okay. I think that'll do it. All right. So, watch, face on the inside. Marine Corps bracelet. Knife. M16A2. Of course, this is Top Fun Retro. Gotta get him the right rifle, man. Boom. That's Leatherneck, baby. All right. And then you can put his glasses on. These actually might have come with a cop, but there he is. Take a picture. Send it to my guy. Get a look. Tell me about that. Come on now. Fucking Semper Fi. That's a big motherfucker there. Not quite Leatherneck, or not quite gung ho big, but yeah, that looks good. I think. All right. Thank you, man. Man, I would too, dude. Eagle Globe and Anchor, man. Crazy. They do, man. I mean, all of John's stuff looks good, but again, it's so iconic. You have to do it right. That weird shit that Hasbro did where the receivers like half the size. It's strange. Yeah, I don't know how that works. Love Leatherneck. Love Leatherneck. Whoops. Send this to my buddy so he can see his stuff. Okay. hell? Sorry, guys. Okay. Okay. Yes, Grim Viper legs. So it came from the version that I was working on at home, which used the Sergeant Slaughter legs. And then once I realized that Grim Viper had the same legs, you do have this much better belt though. While I was at Johnny's store, I was like, what if the Grim Viper legs are already green? So that's nice. And then these are the Charles Xavier arms, because not many classified have the 3/4 sleeves. Duke's really the only one. But this one, I can't find a torso where they sit in properly enough, so I've kind of stalled out on this one. But this one that's just Grim Viper and retro rock and roll for the torso and arms. I mean, that gets you there, right? Just doing that. Yeah, it's 3 figures to do it, but he's legit. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't. It looks too. Yeah, it's too Third Reich-y for me. I don't care for that at all. Sure. Yeah, you could use whatever you want. I mean, I used what's his name? Crossbones to do my Gung Ho figure. You know, you could make him that big. You stand those two boys next to each other. You know, Gung Ho looks like he eats nails. And Sergeant Slaughter's cover fits on him really nice. So, yeah, so that works, man. That looks just fine. All right, now we'll assemble this wacky sci-fi figure. Okay, so get this guy ready. Damn, that was really glued on. Okay. All right. Wacky sci-fi. Okay. All right. First thing we're going to do. Warm that up. There's a licensing fee to use the anchor. I wish they would, man. That seems silly, but can't get a hoodie cover. Commander of a classified gun holds a prisoner. He does. Man, I heard the first part of that comment may be not true. They may be changing it up. I don't know if that's true, but my God, I hope so. I'm going to call this Sci-Fi Custom Works. Well, he's still going to be sci-fi. I love sci-fi. He's just going to be an experimental suit or something, you know? Still sci-fi. Okay. Keep this up. That's why I paid extra for exclusive. Fair enough. Yeah, exactly. And I think they may have gotten there where it was just finally nobody was like, we can't do that. And they were just like, why not? Let's just do it. The people that say nay aren't paying the bills. You know? But watch, they'll do it and they'll be like some San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, though. You know, that'll chap my ass. Look at that torso. That sci-fi torso is nice. Just clean, simple texture. All right, kids. Ready to try this out again? Okay. Just gotta warm this guy up. Up. Understand? Okay. Now, assemble the arms. R. This is an R. Tristan, an exclusive Gung Ho 2-pack and dungarees and dress blues with correct marine paraphernalia would be fantastic. You know, I'm with you there. That'd be very, very cool. Yeah, I'd be into that 100%, man. I'd buy that for sure. Oh yeah, I'd buy that for sure, dude. Most wanted exclusive wish list. Okay, man, that's a cool one, dude. Okay. In there. Careful with this one because the shoulders overhang and I don't want them to get messed up, you know? Put that one in. This one in. And wait. Okay. This is What else is on y'all's wish list for the classified? What else are you hoping for? Is anything that they've announced? Is any of that striking your fancy? Oh, I love Undertow. Yeah, I'd be stoked. Undertow, or if they did in the modern 4-inch stuff, they did Iron Anvil, and it was essentially like Cobra Viper version 4. They kind of looked like it had the gas mask as purple, orange, and gray. Love that figure. And I don't really see him doing that version as a Viper, but if we got it as Iron Anvil, I'd be okay with that. Because that color scheme, purple and orange, not one of my favorites, I'll be honest. So that could be cool. Thrasher, Zanzibar. Definitely would foresee those happening, no doubt about it. Oh, hydrofoil. Tristan, you're speaking my language, my guy. Love that. Yes. Never get it. Oh, that'd be cool, man. Yeah. Again, they just pay him, pay his estate or his family some money, and you know, let us honor the guy. You know what I mean? Just one Adventure Team Joe, not asking for much. Someone said Flocked is coming. Maybe that's why. Yeah, I could see that. Now, Machine Man, are you not into the Monster Force? I ask because they just did that Agents of the Omega, which is obviously an Action Force homage or a Adventure Team homage. Just curious. Ah, thanks, man. That's coming together. I think it's pretty fucking cool. Looks like a fucking Bandit Trans Am. That's fucking cool. Alright. If you guys didn't know, the knee pads on Sci-Fi are removable. Like, they weren't glued or anything. I don't know if that's how they all are, or if I got one that wasn't finished or what. You're just keyed. You just snap right on. I'll probably end up doing some detail stuff on this, maybe a little dry brush here and there. I really just wanted to see if it looked worth a damn assembled, you know what I mean? And I'm into it. Wholeheartedly. I'm into it. What else? Craziest rumor leak I heard the other day that Laura crossed Tomb Raider. I heard that for Hasbro? That would be really cool. Could be. Interesting. Most wanted. One of these companies do a decent representation of them. That does not look like it's going to happen, my guy. They are hell-bent on not being accurate when it comes to that. I don't know what they're... And you know what's crazy is they have military consultants and stuff. In fact, I got to talk to one, and I mean, they don't even take what they say. I don't know how many there are. This one wasn't he, but I don't know how many there are. But he was saying they don't even take, you know, his advice all the time. You know, he was saying, I can't remember who it was, if it was Hit and Run or maybe it was Crazy Legs, but he was telling them that their rigging was all off. Like that's not what it looks like. And you know, gave them reference pictures and everything like that, and they didn't change it or anything. They're like, yeah, that's what we're doing. You know, Sub-Zero, interesting. Okay. Sub-Zero's cool. I got nothing against Sub-Zero. Honestly, there's a lot of the floor monsters. I will say, anybody that loses stuff to the floor monster, I have lost way more things since I got one of those hard mats for the carpet. I've lost way less things. Like it's really cleaned that up for me. Okay. That's how I did the back. Okay. All right, so here's his rifle, which, you know, it's okay. But Gridiron had this one that I thought was awesome, and I just didn't know how I was going to use it. But it's the XMLR on a Tavor body. So I messed with the magazine so that I could plug a hose onto it. And then, boom. Now Sci-Fi's got a bullpup laser rifle. Huh? Alright, what do we think, guys? I think that thing looks cool as hell. I don't know, it doesn't really look GI Joe, but I'm into it. I gotta tell you, I think that's pretty fucking cool, dude. Sub-Zero was it? Yeah, he did. He had all kinds of cool shit. I love the black. Usually black and red. That gold is awesome. Yeah, I thought about doing red. I was gonna do black, gold, and red. And then I was like, well, that's iron graded deer color. I can't do that. You know. I did check that out. It's a little expensive, maybe without the snake and Kirk head, but everything else is real nice. Okay, that's fair. I mean, they're expensive. I get that. Headman's colors. Yeah, I guess so. That's true. Well, we are getting that. That's the next wave of retro cards, right? And that they showed her. That's coming. I am super surprised they haven't done a Don Moreno. That would be really good. Like I said, I'm very surprised they haven't done her. But they've waited long enough where now if they do her, they do her really cool, I think. And a Munitia would be cool. Honestly, all of the Purge troopers would be pretty rad, I think. Right. The Carpet Demons have several. Oh, for sure, dude. Thanks, Cliff. Appreciate it, man. Thanks, Chris. that color could build its own Joseph line. Wouldn't that be crazy? Carpet Demons could be the name of a specific. Well, yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, so. Yeah, man. That is my wacky experimental armor sci-fi. Finally got a reason to use that rifle. I think I got like 3 of them. I just thought they were so cool. Just a perfect blend. But yeah, I think I'd like to hit it with a little highlight color, maybe some wear on the metallic looking surfaces, but I think it's pretty damn cool. I'm into it. It's wacky as hell. I like it. I like it. Thanks, Pop. Thanks, Tristan. Could easily make him an army builder with the visor down. For sure, yeah. You could have a number of these guys for whoop. For sure. Yeah, Cliff says that Crimson Guard, female Crimson Guard is up for pre-order. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, she's cool. I'm still surprised they chose to do it. Like they keep making female figures on the Cobra side, but they haven't done much on the Joe side. Like I said, like you got Don Moreno Snake Eyes, who is currently Snake Eyes in the comics. Like you'd think they'd work that in a little bit, but the toys, they are really listening to the guys that want the original 80s stuff. You know, they're not wanting modern representation or iterations or anything like that, which is too bad because there's some cool designs in that new Energon universe. I mean, there's cool stuff in the modern Joe run too, but I don't hear people talk about it all the time. You know, I hear people talking about the Energon universe all the damn time, and it looks really good. And I'll continue to buy the trades, and one day I will read them. You know what I mean? Like one of these days, that power outage is going to hit, and I'm finally going to be like, I know what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? I guess the Joes have more main female Cobra. Sure. Named for sure. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about that. But they haven't tapped into it very much. I mean, they did Helix and they did Shooter, which are both from the modern era, you know. Yeah, I mean, outside of the goofy Sunbow stuff, there's not a lot of females. Like they've done the females, multiple versions of the original 3 for sure. I mean, Scarlet, CoverGirl, and Lady J all have at least 2 versions. You know, Scarlet, you've got some of the UK and Brazil variations, which is pretty crazy. You know. Could you imagine if they did a yellow canary version of Lady J? That'd be ridiculous. I don't think people would buy that at all. I think is that Fun School? I can't remember. Pretty ridiculous. But yeah, but now they've got several. You know, they got Bomb Strike, Helix, Shooter. Obviously, they did those. But a Bomb Strike would be cool, especially if you did all three of those siblings. You did Barrel Roll, Blackout, and Bomb Strike. That'd be pretty sick. That would be really cool. Honestly, I would really like the Bomb Strike. Reminded me. I would love to see them do a modern classified sightline. I think that would be really cool. I don't think they have anybody there that means anything to, or that, you know, knew Gary or anything, but man, that would be really cool. But, you know, yeah, for sure. I mean, any Cobra, you know, any troop builder, any kind of thing like that, you could always do females. I don't know how well a scientist would sell, you know, but if they did an army builder pack that was a one dude, one chick or something, maybe, I don't know. So Shooter is in the Energon. I didn't know that. That's very cool. That's a little Canary Ann. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Yeah, wouldn't that be ridiculous? People would not buy that. It's not even pretend cool. It'd be wacky if it came with if they two-packed it, two wacky fun schools, and they packed it with the Major Blood that had the big yellow chest plate and armored arm. That'd be wild. But, well, guys, this is I think this has been a pretty productive evening. I'm going to call it a night, I think. But yep, there's Johnny's Leatherneck and my experimental sci-fi figure. Pretty happy with him. I'll give this to Johnny Saturday when I see him, as long as he's open. Hopefully he is. And hopefully Zakanin will be with me. And yeah. So anyway, guys, I so appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you hanging out. I have no idea how many people were here. I did not look at that once tonight. So doesn't matter to me. If 2 people show up and they're both my parents, I'm good with it. I don't care. I love hanging out with you guys. Appreciate you guys' comments, keeping me engaged and entertained, and you know, all the good stuff. Yeah, 4,000-ish. That sounds about right. I appreciate you guys. Not tomorrow, Friday night on my channel, Figure It Out. Zach and I will have Brad Davenport, and we will be talking about our favorite concerts, and we'll be talking about the venues and stuff like that. So we're gonna have a good time. We're very much looking forward to it. Brad's a good dude. Always been a part of our circle, our community, and it'll be fun to hang out with him. And no show on Sunday, and I'll be back here Wednesday night. So if I don't see you till then, guys, take care of yourselves, and you have a good one. All right.